Singapore helps the students to realize their dream to finally go to Australia. One thing during our conversation, I came to know that you don't need to show funds in the beginning.
Yes. So recently we have launched a global campus, like the global scholar programs, which means that the student can study 1 year in Singapore and transfer to Australia for 2 years, yet they can still enjoy for the post-work permit.
इमिग्रेशन ऑफिसर के दिमाग में तो ये रहता है कि क्या ये जेन्युइन स्टूडेंट है कि नहीं है, क्योंकि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स ऐसे हमारे एरिया से जाते हैं जो 6 महीने बाद अपना इंस्टीट्यूशन चेंज कर देते हैं, तो वो जेन्युइनिटी कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो जाती है. बट यहाँ पे एक ऑप्शन है, स्टूडेंट हैज़ ऑलरेडी स्टडीड 1 ईयर इन कर्टिन यूनिवर्सिटी इन सिंगापुर, so he or she is now wanting to change the campus. He or she will remain in the same university wanting to change the campus, and students already proved that student is a genuine student because he or she has already studied 1 year in Singapore. हेलो फ्रेंड्स, मैं अमित कौशल, जुपिटर स्टडी अब्रॉड कंसल्टेंट चंडीगढ़ से. जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि वी ऑलवेज पुट न्यू वीडियोस रिगार्डिंग इंटरनेशनल एजुकेशन. तो आज मैं लेके आया हूँ एक बहुत बढ़िया प्रोडक्ट विच इज़ कर्टन यूनिवर्सिटी सिंगापुर कैंपस एंड दैट ट्रांजिशन टू कर्टन यूनिवर्सिटी Australia. So with me I have Kawai, who is from Curtin, Singapore. Kawai, welcome to Jupiter Consultants, and yes, nice to be with you. So we just want to make sure that the students who are watching our videos or the parents who are watching our video, why should they look for studying in Singapore and then going to Perth, Australia, and not directly? So what is the product like? What are the unique selling propositions for students to go study in Singapore?
Yeah. So basically, as we know, Singapore is one of the most wholesome countries, like that achieve a lot, although it's just small countries. I would say one of the main reasons is the safetyness. In Singapore, they're one of the most safetiest country in the whole world. And of course, the government is doing so well. They have the roadmap to plan 10-year or 20-year down the road. So the infrastructure here in Singapore is so complete, and you can go any corner of the Singapore, which is bus or train. The turnaround time is just 5 to 10 minutes. So it's very convenient for everyone. Of course, the food, and it's a multicultural in Singapore. And we also know Singapore is a melting pot for culture. We have the Malay, Chinese, Indian, and also the Caucasian. So it's so harmonic in Singapore. Basically, there's no issue on any like the riot or protest or any crime happen in Singapore.
Wonderful. But Karwai, the point which I want to make in front of you is,
Yes.
Majority of students in our region or in our country would look Australia as a great destination.
Yes.
But unfortunately, over the past couple of years, recent past, to qualifying to study in Australia directly is very difficult at the moment. There are, funds requirements, very tedious fund requirements. They don't accept gaps anymore. You have to have a certain amount of income to be able to, put your application in the university. And most of the university don't even, they outrightly reject some regions, students coming from some part of India, which they think that they are not likely to complete their qualification in Australia. So the students who will be watching this video, the main aim would be to go to Australia later on.
Yeah.
So how does Curtin, this stepping stone as a Curtin Singapore, helps the students to realize their dream to finally go to Australia? One thing during our conversation, I came to know that you don't need to show funds in the beginning.
Yes.
And anything else you want to share about that?
Yeah. So I would say because Curtin University is a global campus and global university, we do have campus in Singapore. And what we offer for the student is that the student have the flexibility to campus transfer to Australia anytime. So recently we have launched a global campus, like the global scholar programs, which means that the student can study 1 year in Singapore and transfer to Australia for 2 years, yet they can still enjoy for the post-work permit.
Yes, because you need minimum 2 years of study in Australia to be able to qualify for
Correct.
postgraduate work permit.
Yeah.
And during that 1 year when they will be studying in Singapore, they can manage their funds, they can manage their income and all that, so that when they put their file for visa in Australia, so it is easy for the High Commission or the embassy, the immigration officer who assess his or her application, because students have already been in the university for 1 year, because that's the major concern in terms of Department of Home Affairs, that is this student likely to study the whole duration in this university or not. That is what we are looking at, students applying from India, कि अगर मैं आपको हिंदी में इस चीज़ को समझाऊं कि इमिग्रेशन ऑफिसर के दिमाग में तो ये रहता है कि क्या ये जेन्युइन स्टूडेंट है कि नहीं है, क्योंकि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स ऐसे हमारे एरिया से जाते हैं जो 6 महीने बाद अपना इंस्टीट्यूशन चेंज कर देते हैं, तो वो जेन्युइनिटी कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो जाती है। बट यहाँ पे एक ऑप्शन है, स्टूडेंट हैज ऑलरेडी स्टडीड 1 year इन कर्टिन यूनिवर्सिटी इन सिंगापुर, so he or she is now wanting to change the campus. He or she will remain in the same university wanting to change the campus, and students already proved that student is a genuine student because he or she has already studied 1 year in Singapore. One thing. Two, what about the tuition fee? When they study in Singapore, is this different from the study in Australia?
Yeah. So I would say that if you study 2 years in Singapore, the student tuition fees for 2 years is 65,000 before scholarships. So we offer 100% scholarship for the students, means that the student guarantee can get a scholarship upon meeting the entry requirement. So the scholarship can up to from 20% to 30%, and the highest scholarship can be up to almost 20,000 Sing dollars. And after the deductions for 2 years, the tuition fees is almost about 49,000 for 25%. If the student achieve 30% of scholarship, it will be 45,000 Sing dollar for 2 years.
No. If a student has already planned
Yeah.
that he or she will study 1 year in Singapore,
Yes.
and rest of 2 years in Australia, so we'll just park Australian tuition fee. So if a student has to study for 2 semesters, which is 1 year in Singapore, how much is the tuition fee for 1 year?
Okay, so for 1 year tuition fees is about, I would say, $12,000.
12,000,
Yeah.
which is
For-
very reasonable. 12,000 Singapore dollars
Yes, correct.
is equivalent to Australian dollar,
Correct.
almost. So this is after the scholarship or this is before the scholarship?
This is the after the scholarship.
After the scholarship. So student, if you choose to study in Singapore in Curtin University, same campus facility, you are paying just 12,000 Singapore dollars for 1 year for 2 semesters. तो अगर आप पूरे साल की भी फीस दे के जाते हो, which is very reasonable, आप 1 साल आपको पढ़ना है, क्योंकि वहां पे गवर्नमेंट की रिक्वायरमेंट्स है कि आपको इतनी अटेंडेंस, आपको 90% अटेंडेंस चाहिए होगी। इन रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव अगर मैं बात करूं तो 90% स्कॉलरशिप जब आप अचीव कर लोगे सिंगापुर में 1 साल में, तो दैट ऑल्सो रिफ्लेक्ट्स ऑन योर परफॉर्मेंस व्हेन यू फाइल योर वीजा फॉर ऑस्ट्रेलिया. सो द वीजा ऑफिसर इन ऑस्ट्रेलियन एम्बेसी विल सी दैट दिस स्टूडेंट हैज ऑलरेडी studied for 1 year, was there for 90% in terms of attendance. Now he has funds to show income, everything. The transition is very likely and very easy from Singapore to Australia. Another thing, so are you accepting students from 2024 pass or
Yes.
Singapore campus?
Yes, we do accept.
So you are not like the Australian other university that we can't accept 2024.
You know.
So any student who could not get admission or could not get visa for Australia because they passed their 12th in 2024, they can apply. Even for 2025 pass outs can apply because they do not have funds or income at the moment. So what they can do is they can go to Singapore, study for 1 year. Tuition fee is very reasonable. 1 year you have to maintain your funds. 1 year you have to maintain your annual income, your ITRs and everything. And after 1 year, it will be much easier for you to file your visa for Australia and transition to Curtin University, Perth in Australia. And you know that Curtin University is a government university, one of the top 2% universities in the world. And what are the course offering? Because we'll be focusing on the bachelor degrees, because bachelor degree you study 1 year in Singapore and that's 2 years you can go and study in Perth, Australia. So you will be qualified for postgraduate work permit. So what are the course offerings?
Yes. So basically, we offer 3 specializations: Bachelor of Commerce, which including for the single major and double major, for accounting, finance, international business, logistics and supply chain management and marketing. So it comes with the single major or double major, also up to student options. Second, for the Bachelor of Communication, we have the journalism and web media, journalism and marketing, web media and marketing. So we have 3 options for the double major for the Bachelor of Communication. And we also have the Bachelor of Information Technology and Bachelor of Computing Cybersecurity. So these are the programs that we offer.
So Bachelor of Information Technology, you will be covering software development also. You'll be covering networking also.
Correct.
And then Bachelor of Cybersecurity also.
Yeah.
So the product offerings are really good for students, because if I have to choose from Bachelor of Commerce, I think I would go for supply chain management, because this is one particular segment where the jobs are in plenty, and then Bachelor of Communication also, the which is the journalism, the via media, and the digital media kind of thing. So these are the products. So these three bachelors are available. Students who have done their +2 in arts, +2 in commerce, +2 in non-medical, they can qualify for any of these three degrees. You don't have to show any funds. You don't have to show income. The annual tuition fee, that means 2 semesters in Singapore, just 12,000 Singapore dollars. And what about the visa?
Yeah, so the visa in Singapore, yeah. So basically, if you apply for that, our admission team will handle everything. You no need to log into some portal. Everything will be handled by ourselves.
Oh,
And you just submit the e-form to us. We will submit to the ICA officer. So they will grant one of the letter called in principle approval letter. So it's act as the one entry permit for students.
Okay.
Once student receive the letter, they can enter to Singapore.
okay.
And then we will proceed for the ICA formalities and document checks. After that, the student can start to commence a class.
And then they can come and they'll get multiple visa, multiple entry visa.
Yeah, so once the student get the official student pass, they can come into multiple times.
And another thing is Singapore is just 5 hours away from India. So anytime you can, even the Indigo flights are going there. So low cost carriers are flying to Singapore. You get one-way ticket for just 15,000 rupees. So I think it's a very good proposition for those who who want to have an experience of an international destination before they actually land in Australia. Singapore anyway is a wonderful city. मेरे को बोलने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, you all know that. So if any of you want to consider this option in Curtin, Singapore, you know what to do. Is next available intake is February intake. We have plenty of seats. You can contact us and we'll help you in your application to study bachelor's degree in Curtin, Singapore, and then later on you can transit to Curtin, Australia. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.